Yeah. Like I had stopped seeing the Mint Mobile commercials for the longest time on TikTok, and then all of a sudden they started popping up. And
Yeah.
somebody had said like, "Oh, like a lot of the Justin Baldoni stuff kept popping up on my feed." Because
Mm-hmm.
I was getting into it. I was like, Candace Owens owning that shit, and now it's like, oh yeah, the comments are turned off.
Hmm.
Weird. I'm sure there's probably like a lot of hateful comments on there, but
Oh, I would assume so.
yeah. But anywho, we are rolling. We just killed at 3Gs in the last technical difficulties. At some point, we hope you saw the shot, and we hope you. It might be a little bit of rough editing on there, so apologies for that.
Yeah, it's all right.
But um, yeah,
Well, there is nothing about Bent River Brewing, which we are be drinking today, the Mississippi Blonde Ale.
mm-hmm.
It is from Moline, Illinois. Looks like a pretty cool place. They have an actual like brewery restaurant looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have another place in Rock Island as well.
Yeah.
It looks pretty neat.
It says Mississippi Blonde has been a Bent River fan favorite for over 20 years. This refreshingly crisp, light-bodied golden ale is light on the hops and barley forward. Sorry,
Not broccoli.
not broccoli, not barkley. Crack open a bottle and see for yourself why nothing goes down like a blonde.
That is not true. I mean, certain blondes.
No comment. 3.6 alcohol by volume, so this is very light. Is it twist?
Nope. It's a
No. We need the
device.
device.
And how much is it?
3.6.
Wow, dude, that's it?
Yeah. It says so right on the bottle. Hope it's not false advertising. I like the
I like the
sticker.
can.
Yeah, the can.
Or the bottle, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Get Bent. Bent River.
Get bent. Yeah, I like it. It's got a siren. It's got a Ferris wheel. It's got a catfish in there.
It's got a mermaid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there is a mermaid on there.
Yeah, because it's Mississippi, dude.
Yeah.
It's the Mississippi River.
Uh-huh. I
And
didn't know there were mermaids
and a
there.
mermaid next to a catfish.
I
and
mean,
some
I
beer
could
cans.
understand the cans being at the bottom of the fucking
River.
body of water here, but
Then there's a rope and waves that look like fists.
mm-hmm. They look like big bafangul
Yeah.
fists. No, it smells. Weedy.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm a little congested right now, so I can't taste all of it.
Yeah.
And I just took a pouch out of my mouth, too.
Oh.
So it's a little minty.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely not minty. I can tell you that. It's good. It's very light.
Yeah, it is. Dude, that one sip, I was like, well, I don't sip anyway. But I was just like, dude, I could slam.
3.6ers, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to drink 2 to be like at Michelob level.
Ooh, it has a good burp.
Yeah? Did you get all the evil spirits out?
Yeah, they came right back in. See, I like blonde ales.
Mm.
Blonde ales are one of my favorite, I think. At least the ones that I've...
They're good.
Whenever I see a blonde ale on the menu, I'm usually like, all right, yeah, I'll try that. They had one that I was going to get, but I just kind of wasn't sure. They have a jalapeno pepper ale.
Ooh.
Yeah. Then they have a coconut porter. What was the other one that they had there? They had a different one, too. A peach IPA, or peach milkshake IPA.
That sounds like a dessert beer.
It sounds like that one be like...
Heavy.
Yeah. There's something about milkshake IPAs that just throw me off. I don't know why.
Mm. I'm still haunted by the one I had from Mike and Oak, the fucking blonde stout. That shit was fucking awesome. But this is very light. It's very, like, it's tasty.
I like it.
It's weedy, but not off-putting, you know?
Yeah, and it's...
So it's got decent flavor in it.
In drinkability,
Mm-hmm.
easy, dude.
Yeah.
Like...
This is like a...
Look at, like, this was 2 drinks.
Yeah, that, you might want to Space yourself if there's only 4 of those, Pucko.
No, there's 6.
Oh, then
There's
slam away.
There's 2 more in there.
Slam away.
Yeah, there's 2 more. This was a 6-pack. This
Oh, that was
6-pack
a
cost the same amount as that 4-pack.
Oh.
I mean, and I gotta say
That was a good one.
for it being like the craft brew thing for $9,
Yeah.
this is a deal for $9, dude.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of $9, fucking fast food is crazy expensive now.
Don't get me started, dude.
Dude, it's crazy.
I know.
It's insane. These tariffs are killing us.
That has nothing to do with it.
I know, dude. I'm joking.
Fast food was going to shit with prices even before all that.
It's the inflation from the last administration.
Yeah.
They were putting down the nation. See what I did there? That was a rhyme.
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong with your tie, guy? Want me to make your face look like a pie, guy?
I'll punch you in the eye, guy.
Oh, I wish those guys made another movie soon.
That'd be nice, dude, but
Not like Quasi, though. That was not great.
that wasn't good at all.
I had funny bits, but like overall, it was just kind of like weird.
Yeah.
It was like a timepiece movie, but like comedy. I felt like they were going for that Monty Python type comedy.
That's how it's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't sitting for me.
Yeah.
Like, even Colleen was like, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, I want to watch with you. We turned it on, and like 5 minutes in, she goes, this shit's done.
Dude, you gotta get her to watch fucking Showdown in Little Tokyo, dude. Like that one time we got fucked up with pizza and beer and just watching, we were just fucking laughing the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's a fucking awesome movie, but it's so ridiculous. It's hilarious, dude.
Oh, I know. Dude, those days when we would do that kind of stuff, oh,
You miss those days?
yeah.
It was like post college days, but still, it felt like college days.
Yeah.
You know?
The Barndominium, dude.
I know. Okay, I got a question. What would you do if you won the lottery? Have I asked you this before? I think we've had
Yeah, we've talked about this.
on the air.
I think so.
Refresh my memory.
If I won the lottery, what I would do?
Mm-hmm. Unlimited amount of money.
It depends. Well,
Elon Musk money.
all right. So if I had that amount of money, well, I'll be practical first. Okay. I would set up trusts for my kids and my niece and my nephews.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay off all the debt of my parents, my in-laws, my brother-in-law, and then my sisters, all their debts and stuff.
Do you take care of your family?
I'd take care of I'd take care of all them.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'd take care of all them, make sure that everybody
What
was
would you
set up.
do for you? What's this?
Well, but that's the thing. Like, I would do that first
right.
because I'd be like, "Look, this is I have this, I have all of this.
Yeah.
I have to take care of that."
I was gonna say that goes without question, but then there's some motherfuckers that
No, there's people that
fuck
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would do that first, and then I would build my barndominium, and in that barndominium would have the house the way that I want it set up, and then there would be a 4-car garage. Not to say that there'll be 4 cars in there, but it would be a 4-car garage with a gym in there, because I'd want a gym there where
a slippery floor and a basketball hoop for me?
no, just a gym, just a gym. And actually, you know what? I'd have a basketball court built in there for Brax. So I'd have a basketball court in a gym.
Would you still live in Illinois?
No.
Where would you go?
Well, I'd still want to work because I still want to like do.
So you'd like to have a hobby, let's say, because
I would live. I'd probably live in Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky, Tennessee, somewhere there. I'd have that, so I'd have my barndominium.
I thought we were going to that house, bro.
Yeah, but dude, if I can be like near Bardstown, like how that was set up, like on a hill with all that, like I don't know.
You could get that in Texas.
I know, but I'm just saying. All right, so
you
either
just get away from the cold.
Kentucky, Tennessee, or Texas. One of the three. Whichever one gives me the best value for my...
The best bang for your buck,
Yeah.
even though you're a fucking gazillionaire.
Well, I wouldn't overpay for something
Yeah.
if I didn't have to.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. We come from families that were not like...
Because here, this...
We don't come from money. Let's just put it that way.
But how I look at it...
So you know how much shit would cost.
So, like, if I'm... So, right here. So, say if I find a place down in Tennessee, right? It's like 20 acres, blah, 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 blah. What I would do is I'd build a house, and then I would lease out some of that acreage to farmers.
Okay.
So that I'm making money off of my investment.
Yeah.
To keep money flowing into my house.
Mm-hmm.
So that my money, like I pay my mortgage, but my mortgage is being paid by what my leasing is from to the farmers.
Mm.
So I would do that. So I'd have the house, I'd have the big garage, I'd have 2 cars, I'd have the gym, I'd have the basketball court, and then I would have a studio for us. And
what about my house, motherfucker?
Like a legitimate studio.
Am I getting a house on one of those acres that you're buying?
I can get you one, yeah.
That's what I would do. I'd be like,
yeah.
We're going. I'll be like, Kyle, I hate to break it to you, but we're moving to Texas.
Well, so
and you'd be like, you are? I'd be like, no, we are.
Well, yeah, but see, here's the thing.
Tyler would be like, you're bringing your boyfriend with you? I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
But here's the thing. With that house will be bylaws and certain
they
things.
wouldn't have to be conjoined.
No. I'm talking about there would have to be agreements with her on, all right, on this day, and this day, we're doing this.
Oh, no, dude, she'd be like, I'd rather be poor than follow somebody else's rule.
And I'd be like, all right, fine.
She's like, I'd rather die a slave and free.
I'd be like, all right, fine. That you could have designed the house you wanted, but hey, fuck it, sorry.
No.
See you later.
See, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but going off of what you said, I'd be like, there's all this shit I would do too. Because, yeah, I'd definitely get, like, the land, and then there'd be, like, obviously you help out your family. I'd be like, if you guys want to move down too, there's going to be plenty of land for you guys to have somewhere to build.
Yep.
And I could have it built for you.
Now, see here, this is one thing I don't want. Like, yeah, if I had 20 acres, and I'd be like, yeah, you could come, like, I invite my family, like, hey, look, the land's paid for. If you want to build a house on it, let me know. But I'm going to put you at, like, the furthest parts.
Yeah, I don't want to be...
Like, I don't want you living right next door to me.
Like, I'll buy ATVs and I'll drive, or a golf cart and I'll drive. Like the Regis Gemstones kind of deal?
Yeah.
Where they all have their different mansions.
Like, I'll live near you.
Yeah.
But you're not living right next door to me.
Okay.
Like, that's how I would do it. And then, I don't know, dude. I would just do, like, I'd finish my master's degree. I'd get my degree in media. And then I would still want to work, because I wouldn't want to just not do anything.
Would you take like a year off and like, bro, like, I'm not doing anything right now? No, you'd be like,
I would probably take off a month and just be like, all right,
I'm bored.
No, well, yeah, and I'd be like, hey, let's go. I'd sit Colleen and the boys down and be like, all right, where do you guys want to go?
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere.
Yeah.
Or how many places do you guys want to go to in a month?
Yeah.
And we'll go and do that. And they'd be like, why only a month? I'm like, because I will lose my mind being around you guys every single day for a month without having to do anything else.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Like, I'm sure you'd be like, I don't want to say a stay-at-home dad, but you'd be like, I'll wake up and I'll make breakfast for you guys, and then I'm going to go do my shit. You guys do your shit, and then I'll see you guys at night.
Yeah.
Or, like in the evening sometime.
Well, yeah, I would still want to do something,
Yeah.
And if I had, like, unlimited, if I had Elon Musk fuck you type money, I would definitely try to buy part of the Chicago Bears. I'd want to be like, I don't want to be a majority, but I want to be a good section owner.
Nice chunk of the Bears?
Yeah, like, I want to be able to be like,
that's a bad pick.
to like, what? No, my hometown.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad pick, like the team. I'm just saying, like, oh, we're drafting somebody? Nah, no, we're not.
Oh yeah, like I would want to walk in and be that guy that, like, all right, I'm the like third top owner, and I just walk in and be like, no, bro, I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
And just walk away. What are you doing here today? Nothing. And no, I don't like that decision.
Yeah.
I don't want to resign that guy and just walk away. I think that would be cool. And then and then I would want
So
to
you want to be
do
Mark Cuban, is what you're saying.
yeah. And then I would love to.
I'd be like, I'm going on Shark Tank. How'd you make your money? I won the lottery.
I would just, I don't know. There would just be a lot of shit that I would just want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
I told Talia this.
like I would just want a house, like no debt in the house, with the stuff that I want in the house,
Yeah.
and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't need 15 cars. I don't need all this other kind of
I'm
shit.
right there with you.
You know, I want this and I want this, and then I'm good.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I would obviously have like a SUV type vehicle for the wife and the kid. You know, we need to get out. I'd be like, if you want your own car to like fuck around in, I can get you that. But obviously, if we're gonna all go out, we need an SUV. I would get my Gladiator because I don't know why I fell in love with that fucking truck, that Jeep. But that'd be my, or a Silverado, like decked out Silverado, and a car. But I wouldn't go like Lambo or anything like that. I would get like the Challenger, but I would get like a souped up version, like the newer, not a Hellcat. I don't think that I'd be like that's overdoing it for me because I'm not a big car guy. But I'm like I like the way it looks. Or I would get like an old Mustang, like a '67.
See, I'd get my Audi back.
You see, that's too lavish for me.
No, dude, it was so fun though.
I would get my pilot's license. I would want to go do that. And I'd probably do something in like media or like fucking sound engineer or something. Like that's something I'm like, that's something I could get into.
You could go to school with me.
That would be nice if I had time.
Yeah. Well, they're letting me do most of it like remote right now.
Yeah. But yeah, something like that would be cool. I would obviously have my fucking movie theater in home.
Oh yeah. You see, like I don't need all the crazy things, you know.
Yeah,
like,
no, and it wouldn't be like a big thing, like kind of like I have now, but like more like comfortable. You know, where it's like, oh, we just put the projector down, or now it's like a game room.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the pool table because we both like pools. So I'd be like, I need a pool table.
Yeah. All right, here. So like where we stayed in Kentucky, I'd want that to be doubled.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because it was nice, but if I was living there, I needed more space.
Yeah.
Like for me.
Yeah.
You know, like that game room, which was awesome.
Uh-huh.
Like I would need that to have to be double.
Well, that and I don't want to say a lot of the space was wasted, but like that big open area in the living room, I love that. But it's like I'd need big rooms too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd be like master bedroom. It's got to be like huge.
I wish it would have been longer.
Yeah. Not longer, wider. I would go with wider.
Well, but I mean, like the main floor,
yeah,
like been more.
See, I like how it was. If it was wider and it's like, okay, the rooms are over here, it's bigger, and you know such and so. I would go with wider, not longer, because it was basically a barn turned into a house.
But I just felt like if it had a different configuration, a little bit to where there was like. It just didn't feel like there was a lot of space, but at the same time, it didn't feel like a lot of space.
Right.
Like I loved it, but I was just like, we never went in that room.
Mm-hmm.
We never went by the couch.
Yeah.
None of us except for Simic.
When he passed out.
When he slept there. Twice. Like, but it was just like, I was looking at him like, I love this concept, but like, I want there to be like, when you walk in, there's like the front room.
Yeah.
And then it's like you go further back in, and then there's like the living room where everybody's at with the TVs and everything, and then you walk this way, and there's the kitchen.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like that thing had like the where you walked in, it was the kitchen was in its area, but it was open to where you walk into like a family foyer type area where it's like all the same thing, and it's like it was like kind of like a mind fuck because it's like if I'm watching TV and somebody wants to like just sit down and fucking read it, it's distracting.
Yeah.
So you gotta have like kind of how we have here, where it's like you have your front room where it's like this is your foyer,
Frunch,
whatever. And
I have to say it the Chicago way, bro. Front room,
and then we have the family room where the TV and you could sit at the kitchen and watch the TV from there. But you could also just sit there and watch movies because you have a family room and the fireplace and all that. So, but yeah, like definitely design a house with a big garage. I would have a big or a decent sized game room. Pool table.
And I would have to
all
have
that
an
shit.
outdoor kitchen too, an indoor kitchen and an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, just like a nice patio area kitchen. Yeah, that would be cool. It'd definitely.
That it's covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And heated for the wintertime.
You get those like heaters.
No, but I'm talking about like, what, dude? If you have fuck you money, you have it so that it is heated, and it had like you have a nice TV in there and stuff. And,
Get a nice spa in there.
oh, dude, I would definitely have a sauna in the gym. Would have a cold plunge and a sauna in the gym.
Yeah. That would be nice. That'd be nice. Yeah. And I don't think I need to go to the like, oh, I need a mansion. Fuck that.
No.
I'd be like, why do I need 24 rooms?
Mm-mm. I would just want.
Would you have a golden elevator?
No,
Like
there wouldn't
Kid
be any
Rock?
elevators in my house. Fuck that.
I would.
Those fucking people can walk.
No, I would.
No, but I would want at least. I'd want five bedrooms. One for all the boys, and then like 2 guest rooms, or an office and a guest
Or
room.
the boys could have their own room.
Well,
or-
that's why there's 5.
I thought you meant like a room for the boys. I was like, really? You're going to have them together?
No, a room for each of the boys,
Yeah.
plus a like a guest room or in like an office / guest room.
Mm.
But then I would want like 5 or 6 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's never enough bathrooms in
Well,
a
you can
house.
have each room with its own personal bathroom.
But I'm just talking about in general, like having people over.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's never enough bathrooms in a house. If you have
the
people
ideal
over.
thing is if you're gonna have like an outside patio area kitchen type, like have a bathroom. Not
I
next
would
to
want,
it, but
I
like
would
a
want like a
bathroom
pool.
outside.
I would want like a pool house
Yeah.
bathroom type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Almost like you walk in and there's like 4 stalls.
Yeah. I wouldn't go. With
But I'm
that.
talking about like like a guy's bathroom with
Yeah.
like a couple of things, and then
Mhm.
like a female bathroom with a couple of things.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, if we're having a big party, there's enough bathrooms for
If 4
everybody.
guys need to go piss at the same time,
Yeah,
you don't gotta cross the streams. I got you.
exactly.
Yeah. Fuck you money would be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm right there with you. Like, I don't think I could. Like, I'd probably fuck off for a little bit. Like, as soon as you get it, because you're like, oh my god, I could relax. I could fucking decompress. And then it's like, all right, I got to do something or I'll lose my shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think like if you gave me $2 million, I would be able to say all the shit that I said. I'd be able to make happen.
Yeah, but then you'd actually have to go back to work.
But I'm
make
fine
money.
with that though.
No, I'm talking about like.
But I'm talking about like if it was a reality thing, if somebody was like, all right, I could give you everything that you just wanted, and it would be this amount. I'll give you that amount to make all that happen.
I did the calculation for how much money I would need to retire right now. Like, considering inflation over the next decade and 2 decades, let's say, I'd probably be like $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
$5 million, and I could retire with a really good lifestyle.
Yeah.
And just be like, this is it. I don't need to work anymore. Pay off whatever I have to and invest a little money so that I have some income coming without me having to worry about it.
Yeah.
But just be like, all right, I'm fucking done being somebody's worker. Like, I'm done, you know? And then you're just like, all right, now I'm going to do the stuff that I want to do and be my own boss and create or whatever, but still stay busy to where I'm not just like, you know, I wake up and I sit on the couch and it's like, all right, I'm going to watch TV all day. All right, I'm done with Netflix. What's next? All right, let's go through all the Hulu catalog. You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
No, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to hit the gym for 2 hours. You know, get your body to peak performance, you know.
Oh, dude, I would definitely buy steroids. I would definitely do that.
Get all roided out.
I would definitely be like, all right, I finally have the money to get the right shit. I'm going to try it once. Let's go.
It's like, all right, my sinuses are gone.
Yep. And I'd be like, all right, we got to make this work one time. I'm gonna do it.
I've always been a fan of fucking getting in shape naturally. Like
Well, yeah, me too. But I'm just saying, if I had fuck you money and the ability to be like, all right, give me a cycle real quick, and I come out and I'm just like, I'm still working out, and I just look
like
all right,
I
cool.
did the what was it carnitine?
Creatine.
No, it wasn't creatine. It was carnitine. It was like the fat burner one.
Oh, that shit doesn't count, dude.
But it was injected. I did that, and I was
L-carnitine.
yes, L-carnitino.
Yeah.
Yes, and it worked. But I was like, I can't. I'm like this. Like, yeah, does it work? Yeah, but it's like a cheat code. I'm like, no, I need to.
It's an amino acid, dude. It's not a cheat code.
I need to walk. I need to run. I need to.
Well, yeah.
Like, I need to.
You still need to do that with steroids. You still need to work out.
But I would want all my gains to be natural. Like,
but taking L-carnitine isn't being unnatural. That's an amino acid.
Yeah, but it's a boost.
It's not
It's
unnatural.
a buffer, dude.
Unnatural is taking pro-hormones. Is taking steroids.
Anything that my body would not be producing, I'd be like, all right, no, I don't need it.
If you have Gatorade, there's L-carnitine in Gatorade.
Is there L-carnitine in Gatorade?
Yeah, it's part of an amino acid profile.
I'd be like...
If you eat meat in the amino acid profile, there's probably L-carnitine in there.
Yeah, but see, that's like part of your meals. It's not something you're injecting.
Well, no, it's an essential amino acid, dude.
What I'm saying
You're not injecting it, you just drink it.
What I'm saying is I would not fucking be like, all right, give me some water and cement. I need these fucking biceps to get big. No.
It's you're confusing the concept of unnatural and like taking supplements.
Performance enhancers.
They're not. No, L-carnitine is an amino acid. It's not a performance enhancing drug.
Whatever, dude. I know what I want to do. You do what you want to do.
Well, I'm just telling you, you're getting the wording confused because when they talk about when it's talked about doing things naturally versus unnaturally,
I'd be like Swayze outside by the lake doing my fucking katas and just be like,
okay, but
and
you're
motherfuckers' throats out when they come up to me and be like, I fuck dudes like you in prison. I'd be like, nah, dude.
You're still confusing what the natural unnatural thing is.
No, what I'm saying is like,
but unnatural is pro hormones and steroids. Okay, that's being unnatural.
Those are buffers, boosters.
Well, yeah, that's like if you take steroids or if you take a pro hormone, which is a mimic of a steroid and other things to change your hormone profile. That is unnatural.
Okay, so
things like carnitine, L-carnitine, and essential amino acids and vitamins and like creatine and things like that, those are not considered unnatural because those things are things that your body actually needs.
Yeah.
And you're not changing the chemical makeup of your body.
What I'm saying is, I need to eat healthy. Oh, take this pill. No, I don't want that.
Well, no, it's not a substitute. I'm not saying
substituting.
You take it to help supplement you to burn more. That's not
like hydroxycut shit.
Yeah, that's not considered unnatural. Like if you take Anavar, if you jab Anavar into your body, and it's a steroid, that's unnatural.
Okay, what I would do,
and things that are like, I'm just saying, there's a difference in what the wording that you're using.
Okay. The idea that I was getting to is it would just be like straight working out. No, I wouldn't do the pre-workout stuff. I'd be like, I need to, like, my body needs to get the endorphins itself because it's like 2 weeks after you start working out, your body starts like, okay, you need to work out now.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you get sluggish and shit like that. Get to that performance where I'm not like, yeah, take care of yourself, but not like, oh, I need to take this vitamin, otherwise it's gonna fuck me up. Because then the moment you start depending on those things, you know, so your body should be able to produce what it needs naturally.
Well, with our diets, we're always at a deficiency.
I'm not gonna become a rabbit, but you know, like you know how Joe Rogan takes a bunch of supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, nah.
And he takes testosterone.
Yeah,
He
no,
goes and gets HGH. He also takes
AG1,
yeah, and then he does
Alpha Brain.
the stem cells.
Yeah. See, like stem cells I could get behind, but that would just be to like correct all the fucked up shit my body's gone through. They'd just be like, all right, we gotta tweak.
Dude, if you took testosterone, you would be amazed. It's just, I can't wait to get back on it.
I don't even know what my testosterone level is.
Dude, once I get, I can't wait to get back on
I
that.
haven't been at the doctor since I got my physical, and it was just like, all right, like blood work. I haven't gotten blood work in like 15 years.
Dude, I
God.
get blood work done every 6 months.
I got blood work done before I got married because they needed to make sure you're not fucked up.
No,
I was like, all right.
Now that I'm gonna be making money again, oh dude, I can't wait.
But so you get your body to peak, to where you want it to be. I don't think I'd be like Bert Kreischer was like, I'm always going to stay healthy to where I can still drink. That's not me. I'd be like, I need to be able to drink every once in a while because I don't consider us like big drinkers anymore. Like
I have my moments.
We taste beers. Yeah, like there's moments. But it's not like when, like 10 years ago, we used to go out every weekend and like, let's drink. The good old days.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah. But
even a couple years ago.
5 years, 2, 3 years back?
Yeah.
2, 3 years? Yeah. But
back when your wife was fun.
She's still fun. She's just like, now it's,
you could keep telling yourself that.
Baby. But
I still love the one time me and her were talking about something and she was about to say I don't understand, like about something with the kid. And I just was like, what was that? I don't understand? Huh? What?
Yeah.
I have 2.
Yeah.
And they're
teenagers almost.
One's a teenager and the other one's going to be a teenager. So just keep saying what I don't know. And I'm like, and for most of that period of time, I was doing it on my own while my ex-wife was doing it on her own on that end. So I'm like, what don't I know? And I'm just like, keep going. Let's get this lost in translation going right now before I do this.
Lay down the smackdown. She lives in her own world. Like I told you the door story earlier that was like a fucking argument that didn't need to happen.
It was an accident.
Yeah. That was my fault for some reason when I wasn't even here.
It's always your fault.
Yeah. That's what, like, do you ever see the show Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah.
I love Terry Crews' character. That when he has that speech where it's like, you're always going to be wrong, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to accept that fact. You're never going to... Like, you could be right, and you're still wrong.
Yep.
And I'm like, I understand now. So for all you youngsters, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's one of the most beautiful things that can happen to a person, too. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone, dude. It's nice to have time to yourself. I'll agree to that. You don't want to be alone.
I was never alone. Dude, I'm so fine, like, right now.
Right. Yeah, now.
No, she's away at work. I'm completely
Yes, but she's coming back, so there's that.
Yeah, and then I get to leave.
There's that safety net.
No.
Yeah. Like, I like, the whole, it's not my time anymore, it's our time. Ugh. I'm like, I need my time still. I need at least my time for a little bit.
I just make it my time.
Oh, I do too. I find time.
Or I'll just say something.
At the same time, dude, like
I'll just say something so then she gets mad at me and I'm like, perfect. Now I really got my time.
But yeah, like, I don't know how it was for you when Braxton and Emmett were younger, but it's like now it's like I want to be around the kid like a lot,
Oh, I was around him every day, dude.
Yeah, like I want to be like I don't want to miss her first steps or anything. Like I'm like I need to get home because I don't want to miss shit. And the best feeling in the world is when I get home and I open the door and she's awake. She's just like as soon as she sees me, she smiles.
Yeah,
it's like the best feeling in the world. best feeling in the world. Because I know dudes that don't want kids. They're like, nah.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people that don't want kids.
And I'm just like, you just don't know, dude.
Yeah.
You just do not know. Like, and I respect that decision, you know, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys that do know, and it's just like, yeah, dude. Like, you don't need to say it, you know. It's just like, you want to tell them your story, and they tell you theirs, and it's just like, yeah, dude, it's like the best fucking feeling in the world.
I know a couple chicks who don't want kids.
They just don't know,
And it was weird. I was just like,
and
what?
it's your fault because they don't want kids.
It wasn't my fault.
It's guy's fault.
No, the one was this one was one. I forgot who it was, but she was just like, "Yo, I don't want to." She goes, "I like being like an aunt, but I don't need to have my own."
Well, being an uncle is really cool too, because you were a young uncle, and I
Yeah.
got to be an uncle for a long time, and I got to see my nieces and my godson grow, and it's really cool because at the end of the day, they're going home to Papa and Mama.
Yep.
And you don't have to deal with all the bullshit. You just get to be like the cool person in their life. But then you get yours, and you're just like, oh, here's all the responsibility. There's the other side of that coin.
Oh, I wouldn't change it for the world, dude.
No, me either. Like Tyler's always telling me, like, you're gonna make her into like a butch little girl. I'm like a tomboy, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna make her cool.
No, she'll figure out her own way.
Yeah. I'm like, if I just happen to be the positive influence,
Dude,
in her
Braxton
life-
loves fucking basketball and rap. Okay?
Yeah.
He discovered that on his own.
Yeah. Who's his favorite rapper?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of his favorites.
They ain't us.
But-
Did he go fucking crazy during the Super Bowl?
He loved it. And I was like, all right, dude, I like some of his stuff. It's okay.
Like one of my nieces
Bip, bop, boom, bop,
listens
boom,
to
bop,
all
bow.
this like bachata, reggaeton, Shakira, new style music, and or Taylor Swifty type stuff, and I'm just like, ugh. I'm like, ugh. And then I got my other niece who's a little bit more like into my taste and my brother's taste, and I'm like, you like Metallica? She's like, yeah, I like Metallica. But she also likes like the girly stuff too. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I like Taylor Swift, but I'm like, you like Pink Floyd? She's like, I heard of them. They're good. I'm like, they're good? Come on, dude. You're talking about one of the best bands of all time.
They're all right.
Shut up, stupid. You know they're one of the best.
They're good. But I mean, they're all right. I like them, but I'm not like, oh, Pink Floyd.
You don't have to be. But you gotta think, if you were living in the 70s and that was the fucking jam.
No, Zeppelin.
Huh?
Zeppelin.
Well, Zeppelin's the shit too.
Zeppelin, Sabbath, Leonard Skinner. I'd take those three over Pink Floyd any day.
Nonsense.
Throw in some ZZ Top. Throw in some CCR. Throw in some
See, now you're
Stones. All right, now I'm throwing in a whole bunch of throw in the Who. All right, all the
Beatles.
everything. No, the Beatles at that time. No, you're throwing in the late '60s. No, the Beatles hit their peak in '65.
You know they sell the albums like the this decade and then this decade, and then it's like oh, I remember when you told me about that. They're like they had their 2 good decades and then they were done.
Yeah,
Like they had their like a British Invasion albums, and then they had their like crazy 67
just in their studio albums that
Yeah.
they never toured. You know, they never toured after 1966.
Yes, you told me this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they released like 4 albums and never toured.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Because they paved the way.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of musicians, like people that know music, that are big fans of like classic rock, like Chuck Berry and guys like that. Like I guarantee you, kids now don't know about like Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page.
Some of them do.
Yeah, but there's few.
But it depends. It's
Like
something that
their mind span goes back to like James Hetfield.
But you have to be interested in it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's an acquired taste now. Classic rock's an acquired taste now.
yeah. But you feel like
You know when that shit dawned on me? I'll tell you the exact moment was, and if it's stupid to say this, but when I saw the American Pie reunion movie, do you remember that one where they went to the high school reunion? And the fucking neighbor chick had a crush on Jim, and they're listening to the radio on the way home, and they're playing Spice Girls, and it's like classic rock, and she's like, "Oh, I love this oldie," and I was like, "Oh,
yep.
how dare you? They're not even rock."
Yeah.
But I was like, Jesus, dude. I gotta say, we grew up in an awesome time, though, the 90s.
Oh yeah.
I think that was like the best time to grow up.
Well, I've made that point several times that we grew up in the best era of music. In general.
It depends on your upbringing, too, though.
No, I'm talking about...
Because we got to see, like, there was already, like...
No, I'm talking about through the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Like the new metal?
I'm talking about from 80. Like,
Yeah.
if you, like... All right, we're born in 85 and 84.
Right.
But I'm saying 1980 to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We lived in an era that had some of the greatest music overall.
Yeah.
Not one specific
Genre. Yeah.
I'm talking about from one end to the other. We grew up in an era
Yeah, that's what I'm
of
saying.
some of the
Like,
greatest
you
music.
got to absorb what was already there, what was new, up to, like, where... I don't want to say it ended because there's still new rock that comes out.
Yeah, but you have like...
But like the shit that you still hear now, like Linkin Park, which is the new metal, Korn.
But see, Korn was also part of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about you had rock bands that you would listen to, but then there would be those hip hop songs that would come on that you would listen to, and then there would be an R&B song that would come on, and then it would be like a metal song that would come along. Like we were in an era where it wasn't.
We had the original boy bands.
But it was
Kids on the Block, like, Backstreet Boys, and Sync, fucking 98 Degrees.
But you had people who listened to everything all around who would be like, oh, I love this song, or this song's killing it.
Yeah.
They would listen to that. Then you had so much great music come out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've continuously said that we lived in the best. Our lifespan,
our generation,
is the best. Had the best music.
So, do you think we fall into millennial, exennial, or do you think you fall into X?
I've been told we're millennials.
Right.
I don't really give a shit. I just know that the music that I listened to, I liked.
So,
and there was a lot of good music in every genre that was around when we were kids.
Yeah.
And there was a bad music, but at the same time, there's a really lot of good music that came out.
Right.
And you could go from, you have in the rock category or like, pop rock, whatever. You had your Oasis. You had, well, actually, you even start further than that. You got grunge. You had Pearl Jam. You had Nirvana. You had Soundgarden. You had Alice in Chains. And then you move over a little bit more. Then you got your
Temple of the Dog.
Yeah. Then you got STP. You got Blur. You have Oasis. You have... oh, God, dude. I can't... There's Smashing Pumpkins you could throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have...
You have Alanis Morissette,
yeah.
You had fucking Jewel. Like, even if, like, I know it's, like, now Shakira's a household name. Before it wasn't. It was, like, Latino music.
Mm-hmm.
And she was fucking killing it because she was more rock than pop back in the day.
Well, here, I wasn't even getting into, you had Metallica, you had Dave Mustaine's band. Megadeth.
You had Slayer.
Then you had
Anthrax.
Dimebag Darrell.
Pantera.
Like, you have all the,
Yeah.
Then you had Ozzy just by himself.
Yeah. Which is still good.
Rob Zombie. White Zombie.
Yeah.
you know. Then you had,
Rush.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking
And then we're not even getting into,
like the 2000s yet.
but we're not even getting into the other genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, um, Cher came back. You know, then you go into like
You had Queen.
you had Queen, you had the Spice Girls, you said Jewel, then you had Alanis Morissette, then you had Avril Lavigne's Big Time.
She
Then
was
you had,
2000, but yeah.
but I'm talking about no, she was in the
No, she
late.
was 2000s.
No, we were in high school, dude.
Yeah.
Early late '90s.
No, she was
'Cause
like
that's when-
she was like 2000, like
And
zero,
you had
zero.
you had Sum 41 and Blink 182 and all them starting to come along.
Yeah.
The Offspring.
Oh yeah.
Then you gotta even go into the whole punk genre. The punk genre goes back even to like 19. What I think the first No Doubt show or first time No Doubt played was like 1979.
Ed Bush,
You know, and then you got Sublime,
REM,
or you know, there's
NoFX.
yeah, like you have all these
Sid.
things. And well, you have to go back before Rancid to Operation Ivy,
Mm-hmm.
but you have this whole spectrum
Yeah.
of music. It's not like I don't know. We've had
You didn't even touch on rap. You had NWA. You had Dr. Dre. You had Eminem. You had fucking Nas, Outkast. Which Outkast always felt a little bit more poppy, but still rap. And
Well, yeah.
Nelly,
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J,
Mm-hmm.
LL Cool J. Yeah.
You had Run DMC.
Oh yeah. Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Aerosmith's been around forever.
I love how I say Run DMC like Aerosmith.
Yeah. Well, they did the thing, so you know.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about all the fucking bangers that came out on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Fucking theme songs were killer, dude.
Yep.
That Mortal Kombat.
And see, that's another thing, though, dude. We had some of the best of everything.
You know, have you ever seen the meme where it's like God created humans, humans created Mortal Kombat, and it's playing the song in the background, and it's like nice. I always that nice. I always hear it in fucking Shane Gillis's voice, like nice. For some reason, it's like nice. But yeah, dude, I think we had, dude, and even like in the 2000s and 2010s, you got Audio Slave, Velvet Revolver, dude. Killer fucking music, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Those two albums, the Velvet Revolver one and fucking Audio Slave, I was like, all right, there's still hope for music.
I wish Scott Weiland wouldn't have OD'd, man.
Yeah.
Velvet Revolver was so good.
I wish Michael Jackson and Prince hadn't gotten murdered.
Yeah. And I was so happy that I got to see Stone Temple Pilots one time.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, you had ska music. You had everything, dude. I think our generation was really fortunate to get. Dude, there's so much to fucking grab from. That we really got. Like, I know there's dudes that are like fixated into one style of music, but like we really got to go.
But I felt like our generation was able to like everything.
Yeah.
You know, like there was something for everybody in every category.
Yeah, there was bangers all over.
You know?
Dude. Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, I loved watching the Spice Girls music videos. And I liked one or two of their songs. I'd be like, oh, this is a catchy beat. Man, Posh Spice looks really good in that little black dress.
I was always a Sporty Spice and Ginger Spice guy.
Yeah. I'd take Ginger Spice over Sporty. Sporty looked like she would bend you over.
And then maturing is knowing that Scary Spice was not scary. She was actually pretty good looking.
Yeah,
and
she
Baby
was.
Spice, not a baby.
Oh.
The Emmas.
Give me any of the spices. I would be like, all right, let's make a
I'll
cake.
tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
A little ziggy. Ah, all right.
I want the little Emma. And what were the other ones' names? Victoria and...
We had Victoria Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry
Emmas.
Jerry Halliwell was Ginger.
Yes. And there's two
Um,
Emmas, the Sporty and Baby Spicer.
oh no, I don't think the one was the other one named Emma too.
There's two Emmas in there, yeah.
Well, let's see. You had I don't know why we ran on the topic of the Spice Girls.
You brought it up, son.
Well, dude, you gotta admit, like they. No, it was Victoria Beckham, Emma Bunton, which was Baby,
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Halliwell. Then you had Mel C and Mel B.
Oh, okay, so it's the Mels.
So you had Melanie C was Sporty, and Mel B was Scary.
Okay. I thought there was two Emmas. My bad.
They were active
Was that
from.
misinformation on my part?
Well, they were active from 1994 until 2012.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's a good run.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then you had Nickelback too, dude.
Yeah.
Like you saw, like, what do you think about all the fucking the comebacks with Nickelback and Creed? Because everybody hated them.
Well, I feel like Nickelback didn't get like Nickelback had some hard songs, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and they only the pop ones got put out there.
Well, here's the thing. I was never one of the dudes that like hated them. I was like questioning, like, why did he?
Okay, but here you're talking about
them?
those bands, like, but I'm thinking like you had Deftones, you had Godsmack that just broke up,
Yeah.
like they just broke up like yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then you had oh god, who was the other band that I was just thinking of that always was with Deftones?
I don't know.
Like POD. Like POD was also another one, dude, that I loved.
Roach.
Papa Roach. Like Papa Roach is still around.
Yeah.
You know, but there was just so many different like you could ask me a genre and I'd be like, dude, this band.
Yeah. Oh, I'm right there with you.
You know, and you'd be like, oh yeah, they had this song. Boom. You know.
And like what really was awesome for us is we got that new metal era too, and the punk emo era,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like hand in hand. Like early 2000s to 2010
Mm-hmm.
was really good. So you had My Chemical Romance, The Used, Linkin Park, Evanescence, and you know the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
They were really good. They had some fucking bangers too. Korn, POD, Papa Roach, all those fall into that category.
Dude, the first time I saw Oasis.
Trapped, Chevelle.
No, the first time I saw Oasis, I told you who opened for them, right?
No.
Okay, so I saw it was my very first concert, and it was in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Is the first time Oasis came to the United States. Korn opened up for them.
Korn opened up for Oasis. Wow. Feeling like a freak.
They didn't have that kind of. They didn't. That wasn't the song yet. That song wasn't there yet. But yeah, they opened up for Oasis.
Damn. Was it like,
No, it was like I don't even remember. I just remember there was Korn shirts because when we were waiting in line, we didn't get to see that.
were you looking at them like they're spelling corn wrong?
Yeah. Yeah,
They don't know how to spell.
I'm in sixth grade, dude. I'm like, oh.
Spelling bee. Corn. Korn.
And the best part about that show, I remember, is Liam Gallagher didn't show up to that first show because he was sick, allegedly.
He's got a sore throat.
So Noel Gallagher did the whole set, and then, dude,
It said 96. That was when they did that fucking Unplugged, didn't it?
it was
Around that era?
It was right before. It was right after.
Mm.
It was right after they did the Unplugged. They toured the U.S.
Mm.
And dude, there was a big write up about how great he did. And they're like, why they don't even need this other guy to be the lead singer?
You do though.
No, but that's how they were, like the article was written up, and then he joined the tour like right after.
See, here's the thing.
Because I saw them 4 times.
The thing with Oasis is you need Gallagher, Liam Gallagher in there. You need him, dude. There's songs that Noel could sing, but they sound too ballady. If you want that hard rock, like I'm a rock and roll star, you need Liam, dude. You need him for that. You need him for Some Might Say, you know. And there's plenty of songs, but I could see Liam's point where he got pissed, where he's like, well, he's like, now you're singing like half the songs. What am I gonna do? Make the fucking tea? It's like, dude, Liam actually was the one that started the band.
Well, how they started the band, they lied about the whole thing.
Well,
And they're like, yeah, we have all these songs.
yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, well, here, play this
they
then.
wrote them in like one night.
Yeah.
Noel wrote them in one night. But the band was actually started because Liam already had the band, and Noel was touring as a roadie for, I forgot who it was. It was already a famous band. But he's like, Liam's got a band. Well, I guess I'll join up. And then it was like he kind of like got his hands in, and kind of started like, oh, we're doing this, and that's where the squabble started happening. And I could see Liam's point because he's like, dude, like it's not my band, but like you're starting to take over my position. It's like, how would you like it if I fucking started playing the guitar, you know? And it's like, all right, you don't need to play the guitar for these songs because I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I see Liam's point. And granted, he's not fucking like one of the greatest singers of the 21st century by any means, but as a group, they were awesome.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is I understand it, and I used to be a big Noel Gallagher fucking supporter, and after I heard that, I was like, yeah, you got a point. Noel's kind of a douchebag.
They both are.
Yeah, true.
Like, honestly, dude, when they were, how many years they've been fighting about this reunion that they're finally going on?
Yeah.
It's like, all you needed to do was put that shit on Netflix.
Yeah.
Put that shit on Netflix and you would make...
I still haven't seen Supersonic, dude. I gotta watch that.
Dude, I loved watching the documentary about What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Yeah.
And how that shit was written in like a week.
Yeah.
And then when they were talking about when Noel went back in and did the B-sides like all by himself.
Yeah.
And then I told Cam, because Cam took a picture of the vinyl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you got to get that. And he ended up not getting it.
The Morning Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I told him, like, dude, he's like, yeah, I didn't get it. I'm like, you should have. And he goes, why? I'm like, because the B-sides could have been its own album. Like, the B-sides are better than the album that came out.
Was it the B-sides?
Well, no, it was the whole album with the B-sides.
Mm.
So, like, What's the Story, Morning Glory, plus basically Master Plan.
Ooh. You should have told him to get that for you.
Yeah, because I told him, like, dude, they did this other album that came out. It was already recorded. It was all other things that were recorded.
Right.
And I'm like, it's called the Master Plan, and the majority of those songs are B-sides to that album. And when they did
Master Plan.
when they did Be Here Now,
Oh yeah.
Noel was saying he goes the B-sides of What's
So
the
it should
Story?
be Morning Glory, Master Plan, then Be Here Now.
Yeah, he's like, those should have been their own separate album.
Would they fall under grunge for you, Oasis?
No, that is Britpop.
Britpop?
Yeah, that's you have them, you have Blur, you have there's a couple other bands that come out of it. They're not grunge. No, they weren't grunge at all, dude. That was Britpop.
Just English invasion.
Yeah. No, grunge is its own thing. Yeah, even here, like I just says genre, rock, Britpop.
Are you
Yeah, we already went through 4.
yeah. You wanna bust out the Sour Pear?
Sour Pear?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I remember I missed out in 2009 to go see Oasis. It was one of the saddest moments ever.
I still remember the Q101 Jamboree when you and Phil came with me and my sisters,
Yeah.
and I went to wait to go see Goldfinger. And I was like, "Oh, guys, come with me." And both of you guys were like, "No, we don't want to stay in here and wait."
Yeah.
And I waited, and I was in front row. And then I got pulled up on stage while they were singing Mabel. And then I got to hang out with them after, and I got all their autographs, I got oh god, what the hell was their name? They wore those weird like fucking like Furby costumes.
Bloodhound Gang?
Yes. I got Bloodhound Gang's autographs, and then I got Eve Six's autographs.
I remember I went to that jamboree because I wanted to see Bloodhound Gang, and they brought that big ass Pac-Man out
Yep.
on stage, and we were on the hill. I remember me and Phil were chilling with Aaron and Michelle on the fucking hill.
Yeah, when I went to go see
Yeah,
Goldfinger,
you were fucking lost. And
I was like, guys, come see Goldfinger with me. And you're like, no, I don't want to wait.
Well, we saw them from the back. You were in the front.
No, you guys went back and sat with my
because
sisters.
they had the two stages.
Yeah,
no, but
I was-
we saw Goldfinger from like we're far back.
Yeah, I was up on stage and I was on the video in one of their CD extras.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually the one concert that me and Cam went to see Goldfinger a couple of years ago. I'm on YouTube.
On the YouTube.
Yeah.
So if I look up Cow Long in the
Oh no. Oh, I'll show you when we're done,
sounds good.
and you'll see my glory, my YouTube glory at the Goldfinger concert.
YouTube at its finest.
Yes.
All right. What was this again?
Mississippi Blonde Ale
Mississippi Blonde. Check it out. It's really good.
by Bent River.
It's light. 3.6, not bad.
Yep.
Feeling good.
Exactly.
And then we got the sour pear from, what is it, On the Rocks?
Yes.
So,
OTL.
cheers. And check out some fucking Oasis, people.
Check out any music from like 1985 to 2004.
5.
All right, 2005.
And if you want to throw an audio slave and go revolver, I won't hold it against you.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.